Hey everyone, this is Raghu from IBC Media. Today I have with me Avinash Pitti, the CTO of Nucleus Vision. Thank you so much for being here. We are at the launch of Genesis Hack, and we're going to ask him some questions about what it takes to be a blockchain developer today. So, Avinash, thank you so much, firstly, for getting us started with this. What's your thought on the hackathon as a model to get more people to take up blockchain development?
I think this is a very good initiative that you guys are doing. It's really important to build the developer community in India. India being services oriented, services focused, a lot of developers coming out. India is currently housing 19,000 developers on blockchain, and it has the potential to grow more. So we need to lead the blockchain development community, at the same time build a full ecosystem. And I think this is a perfect platform that you guys are creating for the blockchain as a thought leader, as an industry leader for India across the world.
Thank you so much. You brought up a really interesting point in the panel discussion that we were having, which was basically go back to basics if you want to learn blockchain. Blockchain will happen if you go back to basics. I thought that was really profound. What was your thought behind that? Like, what could you elaborate a little bit on that?
So yeah, I was just I've been a developer myself, and any new thing comes up, we have to understand what's the underlying concept, what the basic is. C++ was developed in Bitcoin was developed in C++, and all the latest blockchain protocols are also coming up with core principles of programming. So it doesn't have to be like you have to have a networking experience, or so there's all parts of different technologies like web, UI, mobile, C++, any of these can, existing people from these backgrounds can also transition and or learn and move. So understanding your basic programming skills is the key to adaptation. You need to go back to basics where you say, oh, this is how the validation happens, this is how the network is, the consensus works, this is how the models are built, this is how the dapps are built, this is how. So there is so many points and aspects to it that it's really really important that you understand your basics. And obviously if you are a Java developer, like Java goes back to object oriented programming, where there is C++ into it, right? So if you are a C language or a C++ programmer, even if you don't know anything, you can still learn the basic programming and move to blockchain. So it's really important to know the basics.
That was really insightful for me, and I guess to the audience also that was here. If you were hiring a blockchain developer today, which I know you are, what would be maybe three basic qualities that you look for them in them?
First and foremost, I'll look for a person who has passion for learning. It doesn't matter where you come from. I know people who are like mechanical engineers and production engineers who are still blockchain good developers. So people should have that passion of learning, and that's what we first focus on. Second, some basic programming experience, which I mean, preferably, obviously, if you are a blockchain developer yourself, that's a point to consider. It's a plus, but you should be having this aspiration to learn. I think that's the most important thing. The passion for learning and improving is the key.
So if with Genesis Hack, I guess of the 65,000 people that we're going to reach, for many of them, this would be the first time that they even explore blockchain. What should they expect, and what is your advice to them?
See, first of all, it's a really big event. It's not easy to manage developers. It's not easy to build this ecosystem. For many of them who are first timers, I would advise is to keep your eyes open, learn from what others are building, learn from others, learn from what you lack, where the gaps are. Oh, you might be very good in web programming, but you might be lacking the backend. So you understand, oh, this requires these components. If you are a good mobile developer, right? So there is obviously a mobility component in any startup nowadays. So as part of a takeaway from this biggest hackathon, which I'm looking at, there will be so many engineers I will not be surprised if there are like 10 plus 2 students who are participating with core skills of C++, right? So for them, I think the target, it's not like you will get a job right away. You can, but you should think that this platform is a great learning experience from the industry, from use case development, from what solutions, what level of. So let's say there is a price money of what you're giving as 1 crore, right? It's a big amount, and what it takes to build that first team, second team, third team, what skills are required. So new team members should understand that, oh, the top 3 teams or the top 5 teams have done this, their skill set are this, the use case was this, the time it took was this. So you understand and gauge the performance of, where you stand. So I think that's the key important takeaway is learning from others.
Thank you so much for that. That was really useful. That was Avinash Pitti, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Raghu from IBC Media. See you in the next video.